Away out east there was a fella I want to tell you about. Fella by the name of John Sulkington. At least that was the handle his loving parents gave him, but he never had much use for it himself. This Sulkington, he called himself the Sulk. Now, Sulk, that's a name no one would self-apply where I come from. But then there was a lot about the Sulk that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, and a lot about where he lived, likewise. But then again, maybe that's why I found the place so darned interesting. They call Orlando the theme park capital. I didn't find it to be that exactly, but I'll allow as there are some nice folks there. Of course, I can't say I seen London, and I never been to France. And I ain't never seen no queen in her damn undies, as the fella says. But I'll tell you what, after seeing Orlando and this here story I'm about to unfold, well, I guess I seen something ever bit as stupefying as you'd see in any of those other places. And in English too, so I could die with a smile on my face without feeling like the good Lord gypped me. Now, this story I'm about to unfold took place back in the mid-2020s, just about the time of our conflict with Israel and Iran. I only mention it because sometimes there's a man, I won't say a hero, because what's a hero? But sometimes there's a man, and I'm talking about the Sulk here. Sometimes there's a man who, wow, he's the man for his time and place. He fits right in there. And that's the Sulk, near Orlando outskirts area. And even if he's a depressing man, and the Sulk was certainly that, quite possibly the most depressed in all of Florida, which would place him high in the running for most depressed worldwide. But sometimes there's a man. Sometimes there's a man. Wow, I lost my train of thought here, but, oh hell, I done introduced him enough.
You don't give a fuck about what we think, and like, you'll kill us if we find out anything that might incriminate you. We get it, man. We get it. Just let us slave away and do our jobs and then eventually die in peace. Is that okay with you? Is that okay? I know, we get it. We're tax slave. We give 40% of our income to people that spit on us and like destroy our society. Man, don't like bait us with like Epstein files as if things are gonna change, and then you release them and then nothing changes. That's cruel, right? And I know you're into that, the cruelty part, but like, you know, here's what you get when you get an entire generation that was just like, they just had money dumped on them, right? The Federal Reserve was just dumping money because they disbanded it. They disconnected it from any sort of normal money. So they just started pumping money into the economy. And them being that generation, they benefited because they got money dumped on them. And it wasn't about them specifically as people. It was just the time that they were born. So they got a lot of money. And with media, you constantly tell these people how smart and hardworking they are. And then they have all this money. So they're just like, yeah, I am pretty smart and hardworking. And then you do that for a few decades. And then you can literally convince them of anything. You can convince them of anything. And I'm sure this was set up as some sort of MK Ultra program to like eventually take over the world or eradicate them as, you know, as a race, I guess. But then other people like the Africans started being like, hey, these people are absolutely gullible. They are the most gullible. I said I was Johnny Depp, and this lady gave me $500,000. That's how gullible, right? Millions and millions of dollars just being shipped over Africa because grandma thought she was talking to Liam Neeson and she wanted to get taken. You know what I mean? No, grandma. No, it's not Liam Neeson. He does not have a particular set of skills. He doesn't even spell correctly. That's not a grammatically correct sentence. Why would you think that's Liam Neeson, a native English speaker? He doesn't go on video calls with you for a reason. and then go ahead, piss away the inheritance. The only chance you had of buying a house one day was grandma's inheritance, and she pissed that away on Liam Angumbo Neeson. And he's riding around Uganda or Nigeria or one of those African countries in a Lambo that might last 50 miles before it breaks, and then he has no idea how to fix it, and then he just leaves it abandoned on the side of the road and goes back to catching flies for burgers he's gonna make.